PlayStation.
Welcome to the land of long live play, where greatness is always waiting. Welcome, once again, to the PlayStation experience. It is I, your boy, Dead Ninja Dev, and as usual, I'm joined by my two co-hosts. First up, Mr. Delvin Cops hailing all the way from the land of Florida. How are you today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing busy, tired, but I'm doing good.
Awesome. Very good. And Miss Haley Nicole Miller, the Platinum Princess herself, coming by way of Canada. How are you?
I just got off work and I'm very tired.
Oh, man. That late shift, yeah.
Yeah. Late shift. Well, I mean, to be fair, yeah, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. is kind of a late shift.
Oh yeah, I'm tripping. That's the opening shift. Never mind.
Yeah, it is.
Clearly, I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I mean, for you, it's a late shift because you're 3 hours behind. So I mean, you're not wrong.
What do I know? So everybody's coming in with a little bit of low energy. Let's see if we can pep that up. So, what have you been playing this week, Haley?
A lot actually.
Awesome.
I played some more Fall Guys, having a blast. I'm gonna say it though, that tail game sucks. I hate it. It's the worst thing in that game. I also started playing Need for Speed Heat out of nowhere and just like, I have this installed. Why not? It's very fun to boost your car to the point where like nobody can keep up with you. I'm like in the beginning of the game and my car is like 40 power level, like, because like as opposed like the last Need for Speed game, it was all done by like cards that change the power of your car. This time it's back to like, hey, you can buy this engine and this and that, but it still gives your car a power level. So like for the races I'm supposed to do to like advance the story, I need like 140 power level. My car, which by the way is the starting car, I haven't even bought a second one yet. This is literally the starting car. The power level is 45 levels ahead of what I need.
Wow.
Nobody can keep up with me, and I'm driving a 65 Mustang.
Talk about OP.
That's cool.
That's what's up, though.
It is. It's very nice. The game looks way better at night than it does during the day. I will say that. Although at night it's like empty of cars, so you're just driving by yourself until you get into races. So, you know, that was an odd choice. What? Oh, I went back into Doom Eternal, and because DLC reveal is coming up for that. You know, that game is still really fun, but also I have to take it really slow because I get obsessed with trying to find everything in the level, and sometimes you can't do that on your first go because you don't have abilities or whatnot.
Right.
And then what else? Again, I still moving along the horizon.
Nice. So just a lot of games.
Yes, but also the last thing I played was I played a little bit more of the Avengers beta yesterday.
Okay.
Before work, because again, I've had like an hour sleep in the past 2 days. So, actually, I started playing the Avengers beta yesterday at the same time I lied down and got an hour of sleep this morning. So, at 3 a.m. yesterday, I was playing the Avengers beta.
Whoa.
I did like that big like enter the Avengers mission, and playing as Nat, it was fine. But again, they still need to work on the AI not defending objectives. Like they'll fight, but they won't defend objectives. Like the mission required you to stay
on that like one point or whatnot.
No, that one they're great at defending for some reason, but when the objectives to defend are like split all over the map, like there's 3 of them, like A, B, and C, they just stand in the middle and fight. They don't protect. So you're like running all over trying to do it by yourself. Again, it's the only character I really enjoy playing is Black Widow, but if that leaked like data mined character list is correct, they may end up getting me because apparently in the beta files there's code for Quake and Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I saw that. Quake, Captain Marvel, Marvel. Mockingbird. I was like, that's an interesting choice of characters. We shall see.
That's what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted the obscure Avengers
again,
characters.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way: they put Quake in there. I'm buying that game, regardless of how I feel about it. Like, if Quake is in that game, I am playing. Also, side note: Agents of Shield ended this week, and I am sad.
Rest in peace, Agents of Shield. Great show.
I saw all the tweets for that, and I have so much catching up to do. I haven't watched since I want to say season 4, maybe.
Season 4 had the 3 separate arcs, like Ghost Rider, LMD, and then
whichever one where Coulson wakes up and he's on a spaceship.
Okay, yeah, that's the end of season 4.
Yeah, I think that was the furthest I saw.
Let me put it to you this way: we have the same amount of catching up to do because that's all I own, and it's not on Disney Plus here. So
yeah, it's not on Disney Plus here either. I don't think
that's the thing that bothers me is because all of it is on Disney Plus in the Netherlands and stuff like that. And it's like, what you own all of this? Why do you have a different library for different countries?
Oh, it's the joy of licensing.
It's on Hulu here.
Yeah,
it's on Hulu. If you have Hulu, you watch it all.
Yeah, the licensing and publishing
Hulu
stuff
is not in Canada, so
yeah, man.
So I can't watch it. But also, Daisy Johnson is my favorite character on that show. So
yeah, I'm a Yo-Yo and Mac fan. Those is my peoples.
Okay, Mac is great. Also, Shotgun Axe.
I mean, you gotta have a Shotgun Axe, right? So you had a busy gaming week, which is nice, and it's kind of like this lull before all of the hits in September and stuff.
Y'all are gonna call me out for this, but I also started reading Midnight Sun. So
nothing wrong with that.
I don't even know what that is.
What that is, do you?
Is that the? No, I don't know what that is. Never mind.
It is the brand new Twilight book. Yes,
I knew that.
Yeah. I had no clue. No clue.
I saw it in the store the other day.
It's essentially the first Twilight book again, but this time instead of Bella's perspective, it's Edward's. So.
Oh joy. Yeah. All right. What about you, Devin? What have you been playing?
I read 100. I read 117 pages of it this morning.
Dev was trying to tell you he's not trying to hear that. Yes.
That's great.
We're gonna move on. This is a games podcast. We're not talking books here. We'll leave that for books for geeks.
Hate to break it to you, I haven't been playing any damn games. I played one game this week. Like I said, week 2 of me having to fix everything in my damn house.
Oh man, yeah, that was not a fun thing to hear.
Yeah, I had to fix the refrigerator, and then today alone I had to fix my grandmother's car because her battery died, so I had to go fix her car. Wednesday.
I was gonna say I'm very confused as to how you having to fix your grandmother's car is fixing everything in your house, but continue.
No, that's just in general fixing things. I had earlier this week I had to change her oil and stuff because her oil was blackened and cold, and she didn't realize that it's gonna mess up her car.
Yeah.
And then I had numerous other things to fix in my house, including tile. So I'm still today laying down tile in my living room. So that's how much fun I'm having so far. But 2 things of interest happening. One, I got to play the Avengers beta.
Okay.
I still love it to death. I still think it's all. That's the only thing I got to play this week. And 2, I was a part of a podcast Royal Rumble.
How does that work?
Okay. The concept is this. Just like the regular Royal Rumble, it starts off with one person, with 2 people, and you have to talk, keep up an interesting conversation, and as long as you're interesting, you get to stay on the podcast. If you're not interesting, you're immediately thrown off the podcast.
That sounds like a person with anxiety's worst nightmare.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Can't lie, it was pretty fun. I was in the Final 4.
Nice.
Let me put it this way. Do not ever invite me to one of those because I will literally die.
Yeah, I don't think you'd enjoy it.
What number did you come in?
I want to say 5th.
Okay, and how many of you was there?
Like 13, 14 people.
All right.
Okay, also that's too many people trying to podcast at once.
No, but you're not in at one. You're not in at one time. You're basically like the regular road.
Oh, okay.
People get in, and get thrown out.
Mm-hmm. That's
So it
Okay.
cool.
just keeps going till
So
you get
like
to the end.
Survivor, but podcast version.
Yes, it was very
Okay.
fun. I had a blast doing it.
I gotta hear
For
that.
re-
That should be interesting.
For reference, I have never seen an episode of Survivor. I just know that people get voted off the islands.
Yeah.
No one had.
Yeah, that's not a show. All right, but you're still loving the Avengers beta? Still day one on that one?
Yeah, I loved it so much. I almost played multiplayer on it this week.
Oh, look at you
Yeah,
branching
I'm
out from
not
that
doing
single
that.
player.
I'm not doing
This
that
one-
until the full game's out because then I can get matched as the hero I want to play as. Whereas in the beta, it's random chance.
See, this is what happened. I don't know if you guys saw. We think we talked about this a little bit last week. Verizon is giving away the game,
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
so I already pre-ordered the game. So I said, let me give when I get my copy, when they finally send my copy, the Verizon version of it, I'm gonna give it to my son.
That's what's up.
So he downloaded the beta. He was playing and getting into it. He was having a blast. I said, you know what? Let me play with him in the beta. But he wasn't to the part yet where you can play
Yeah.
the multiplayer part.
Mhm.
You have to beat the first harm mission to do multiplayer.
Yeah, he wasn't there yet. He was
Yeah.
he was almost there. He wasn't there yet. That's the only thing that stopped me from playing multiplayer with him. Otherwise, I've been playing multiplayer all night with him.
Nice.
But he loves it. I love it. He said the same thing you said, Haley, too, surprisingly. Either he listened to the podcast, heard you say it, and said, yeah, I agree with her, or I don't know what, but he said the exact same thing you said. That
What?
Hulk feels underpowered.
Yeah, he felt underpowered everywhere except that Abomination fight. That was the only time he felt decently. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hulk
that makes
Hulk is
sense.
one of those characters that is just Hulk, Superman, all the like super strong characters. I feel like they're always so hard to do for a video game because technically they're pretty much invulnerable. You know, they shouldn't have
I'm
any
gonna
issues.
come in here with another hot take now. You say that games have a hard time doing it. While Superman Returns was not the best movie, the video game tie-in managed Superman's strength very well.
I have
He
no
felt
idea what game
powerful.
that is. That existed. There was a tie-in for that.
Yes.
It was Superman Returns, like a tie-in game. In fact, there was a negative point achievement for it for using cheat codes in it, which everybody hated. But instead of having damage against Superman, it was damage against the city. So that was that was the health bar in that game. It wasn't damage against Superman; it was damage against the city. But they managed to make him feel powerful enough, even though you were facing people that were tougher than him. Like the first boss in that game is Mongol. So
I will say this.
Yeah.
That is a very good game. Very underrated. I enjoyed playing that Superman Returns.
I will say this. I like Brandon Routh as Superman. Like Superman Returns, yes, it's a 3-hour slog, but it is at least a decent Superman movie. The video game is better than the movie, and also like it's a shock how they managed to do that.
Yeah, it's actually really good. The video game is pretty good.
Had
Again,
no
it was
idea
a
it was a
PS3,
thing.
Xbox 360 tie-in game. So
Yeah.
It's really good. Surprisingly, it's really, really good. I can highly recommend it if you like Superman games.
for those who cheat,
it's the best one.
And you either have an Xbox with backwards compatibility or still a PS3 lying around.
yeah, for those achievement hunters, and I'm specifically calling out those on Xbox here because it was one of the only games that didn't get an update for trophies on PS3.
It's that old?
It's an yes,
Yeah.
it's I mean, Superman Returns came out in 2006. So.
You forget I do not care for DC, so
Okay. But it's an easy 1,000 point for those who care about that. So.
alrighty then. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying your Avengers, and I hope that you guys get into some multiplayer with your son, because I feel like that could be a real cool time. As far as what I've been playing, of the 2 weeks since I was gone last week, it's mostly been Ghost of Tsushima, the Avengers beta, and a little bit of Horizon Zero Dawn sprinkled in. Still loving the Avengers beta. I really enjoy it. I enjoy all of the intricacy of all the gear, being able to collect all that, and I love the fact that a lot of it you can actually just play solo. Like, you don't have to play multiplayer. they'll just throw the AI in there, and that's good. So if you can't find a group, you ain't got to worry about it. You got your AI companions. Really enjoying the game. I jumped into the PC beta this weekend as well, and I gotta say it looks pretty much the exact same as it does on PS4. So not sure if the PC port just is not really well optimized, but I'm waiting to see how that actually looks, and if they actually do cross progression, I may end up picking it up on PC as well, just for frames and things. So we'll see.
I saw Imran Khan's tweet before we started recording, and
me too.
He went, I don't think this PC port is optimized well.
Yep. I just gotta wonder how old is the game,
code,
the version that we're playing on, compared to where it's actually at before release. So, and I get that he was like, I get you're saying this is a beta, but the game's out in 4 weeks. Yeah, but how old is this beta? Like, what version of code is this running on? So, hopefully they get all that ironed out. PC is always kind of hard to really figure out because you have to have, there's so many variables. But hopefully they get it handled by release or whatnot. But first and foremost, I'll be playing it on PC or on PS4 because of Spidey. But may also pick it up on PC if they end up having cross progression. But we shall see. But yeah, still really digging the beta. Digging the game. I'm excited for it. It is like the Marvel Ultimate Alliance game that I've always wanted. So this works out great. I'm really excited for it. Ghost of Tsushima. I am now in Act 3. I still love this game. It is absolutely amazing.
I know Delvin is nowhere near it, and I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone. But also, I feel your pain.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
But I love this game. I love it. I don't want it to end. I'm having just a blast with it. I love the combat. I've already maxed out everything. So I am the ghost. I have all of the abilities. Everything is already maxed out, and I've haven't even started the second mission of Act 3. So just been going around trying to uncover all the stuff on the map, do all the side stuff. That's just how I roll, because it's so much more fun to have all that stuff done, be super powerful, and then go through all the story stuff. So it's been great. Got the ghost armor, everything. I'm just loving it. Loving the game, loving the story, love the fact that it's got this cool little 3-act structure, and I'm just really excited to get to the finish of this one and still play it. Horizon Zero Dawn, the PC port definitely has some issues, but it is gorgeous. It's fun to fall back in love with that game. I'll be playing that probably until Avengers drops. Just, once I finish Ghost, just jump into that and just, play around with that for a while until Avengers drops, and that'll be my game that I'll be playing. But just been enjoying that little bit of downtime to play games while I had it. So it's been a good week.
Yeah. Oh, also, I forgot one more thing I played. I played the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater warehouse demo.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that dropped this week.
How
was it?
That feels fantastic. Again, I didn't get to play much of it when I was younger because the game came out when I was 2. So,
right.
But what little I did get to play of it, it feels like I remember. It's good. There's an odd stylistic choice though, where when you bail, your character glitches out and respawns that way instead of just getting up. So that was a weird stylistic choice, but otherwise tricks feel right. You can even revert the controls back to classic Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, so no manuals, no wall plants, stuff like that, or you can go with the new updated stuff. It's very good. The secret area is disabled though in the warehouse for the thing. So
yeah, I feel like all I remember of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 was their warehouse. I feel like that was all we played. I think that in the schoolyard. I feel like those were the only 2 levels we ever played. That's what sticks out in my mind for that. So I may pick
Tony
that
Hawk's
up.
Pro Skater 2, the levels get bigger than they were in the first one. So.
Yeah. That'll be a cool one. I may jump into that later on down the line when it goes on super duper sale or something. A little nostalgia kick.
So. It drops the same day as Avengers, so
yeah, it'll be a while before I get to that then.
I'm well aware.
All right, well, moving right along, let's get into these questions. We actually have a few, and these are some pretty good questions. So our first question comes from @Bland Explosion. He asks, Spider-Man, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn. What's the order I should play these in? I don't really know that
Well,
there is an order, honestly. Like,
I have an order. You're
Go
gonna
ahead,
play
Hammy.
Spider.
go.
You're gonna play Spider-Man. Then you're gonna play God of War. Then you're gonna play Horizon. Now, for those who are curious, I am not ranking these in order of best games because God of War is the best of those 3 games. So, but you're gonna want to play the games that are shorter in length first before jumping into Horizon. Because even if you're mainlining Horizon, that game's gonna take you twice as long as God of War to beat. So.
Yeah, I don't have an order. I say play it in order of whichever you're excited to play in. Like, I don't think it really matters. I feel like I put about the same amount of time into all of them, because I usually do all the same stuff. Actually, not that back. Horizon Zero Dawn was like 70 hours because I went for the platinum. Spider-Man, like I still haven't finished all the DLC, but I absolutely love that game. God of
Did you
War
get the
was just
platinum in
amazing.
Spider-Man as well?
No, I did not because I was like, screw you, Taskmaster. He just never showed back up for me to beat him, and then I jumped into the DLC and he doesn't show up in the DLC, so I haven't beat Taskmaster yet. So no
Fun.
platinum there, but whatever.
I got that platinum in a week.
Actually got the
Yeah.
Spider-Man Platinum too. So
Yeah. I may go back for it at some point because I do like the DLC and I want to finish that before Miles Morales comes out. So I'll probably go for it, but we'll see.
One more thing related to the Spider-Man DLC. I am going to say it right now. I hate Screwball, and I wish she gets caught way faster than she does. Her challenges are so annoying. They are worse than Taskmaster.
They are, but it is what it is. But yeah, I don't really have an order. I just feel like play whatever you're excited to play first and go from there. What about you, Delvin? Anything?
I'm gonna say go Spider-Man God of War Horizon. The reason why I say that is because you want to go Spider-Man's open world game, Horizon open world game. So I feel like you should separate those two. Whereas God of War, while it kind of has open world elements, it's kind of a different experience.
Yeah.
So to kind of get yourself, I think you should play, like I said, I think you should play Spider-Man first because Spider-Man is not that long. And
if you mainline it, it's not that long.
If you mainline Spider-Man, it's not that long. And also, when you compare, I feel like you can get lost in Horizon's world for quite a long time. So that if you're not enjoying Horizon, that can cause you not to want to play the other ones or something like that. I think you should try Spider-Man first because you're more likely to beat that one. Then try God of War because it's a completely different experience than Spider-Man and Horizon. Then you go on to Horizon. Horizon should be kind of the last one you try just to give you some time to play it, actually.
Well, there you have it.
Solid answer. I will say God of War's axe feels like Thor's hammer should feel. Which is the one thing I will say about that small section you play as Thor in the beta. His hammer does not feel as good as recalling Thor's.
You mean Kratos' axe?
Yes. Yeah.
I like Thor's hammer. I felt like it felt great. Yeah, I thought it felt good.
But Kratos' axe still feels better.
I like them both. All right. Our next question comes from Mr. Eat the Hype. He says, Fall Guys, is that a game of the year contender?
Yes. No. Next question.
I mean, it's not for me. I haven't played it, but even if I had played it, it probably wouldn't be on my game of the year list. But I do think that it will be. It just depends on if it has legs. Like, everybody's super excited about it right now. Everybody's playing it, really enjoying it. It just depends on if it actually, people are still playing it, in September. If people are still playing it in October. Like, if it actually has some legs, then I think it will be part of that game of the year discussion. But if it just kind of dies off and it's just like this game that we play here and now, I don't know if it will still be part of that conversation when it's actually had. But for me, it probably would never be a game of the year consideration.
I think it will have legs, especially because they added a costume from Enter the Gungeon like yesterday night, and they had to up their server capacity again this morning because more people jumped into the game now that there's a Enter the Gungeon costume. So if they keep doing crossovers, because you've got like Ubisoft tweeting at them going, hey, let's get like an Assassin's Creed crossover going here and stuff like that, you're going to get more people jumping in, because this is the perfect game where you can like sell these costumes to people and they'll buy them. Because I'll be honest, I bought the costumes. I can dress up as a Slurpee. It is absolutely hilarious. Also, you
that kind of stuff just amazes me because it goes completely over me. Like, I am not paying for no costume. I'm cool.
You had Wendy streaming it on Twitter while playing as the Fry costume.
Like, I just don't get that appeal. Like, that is just, I don't get it. Maybe it's just I'm old.
Also, again, shout out to your Discord status now saying you're listening to Spotify.
Well, he does every time he's playing. He's listening to the podcast.
Yeah, because my Spotify is linked. My wife is listening to Spotify, so it's linked to Discord. So yeah. And you say no, Delvin? Not at all? Not a chance?
Not. I'll tell you why. Because I think this is going to be like a Fortnite situation where it's like, oh, Fortnite's a great game. Just because it's fun don't necessarily mean it's going to be a game of the year contender, even though people were kind of saying, yeah, maybe Fortnite should be a game of the year. And that started that whole conversation. I don't think this is going to be the same thing. And the reason why I say that is because this is a year we kind of forget because it's been going so fast that we've had thus far Final Fantasy, The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Neo 2. Like, those games alone are a lot. Then we got Cyberpunk coming out.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many games still to come out.
Now hold on. Do we? There are still 4 days until day 91. And for anyone wondering why 91 is a big deal, marketing and whatnot needs 90 days for that. If they don't delay, like, they could make a last minute delay somewhere down the line, but normally, like, production wise and marketing wise, 90 days is what they need. So that's why 91 has also become a meme with Cyberpunk. There are 4 days left until day 91. So is it coming this year? We don't know, but let's hope.
Yeah.
By the time this episode releases, you have 1 day to find out if it's potentially still coming this year.
Yeah, I totally feel what you're saying, Delvin. If it does come out, you've got so many big would overshadow even like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Watch Dogs,
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, like there's so many games I think that would overshadow Fall Guys. I think right now people are just caught up in the hype that it is, and we've forgotten about all of these really great single player games we've gotten this year, and that are still coming towards the end of the year. So
yeah.
I think it's having its moment, and we'll see if that moment continues to last, and if it happens to outshine anything that drops this fall, then maybe it still gets that, game of the year nod. But I think that right now, just because it's having its moment, it's on everybody's lips right now. So, but I don't know. Well, it wouldn't be for me. That's all I can really say.
I agree.
All right, moving right along. Mr. Pastor Lucas Ham, he wants to know, do we like the way PS Plus works right now? So you get your free games, it does the online multiplayer or whatnot. And do you think that with the PS5 release, it should be updated to include PS5 games, PS Now, or another feature or perk?
I mean, to be fair, when the PS4 came out, they immediately started giving away PS4 games with it.
Yep.
They were indie titles, but they were still immediately giving away PS4 games. So I'm imagining they'll do the same with PS5. Bundling in PS Now would be great. I don't know if it'll happen. But I can't imagine what other perks would be added there. Like, because again, they killed their live TV service. Like, PlayStation View is dead.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't really have anything else service-wise to give you a perk for, right? Like, maybe a free movie rental, everything. But again, what's the point in that when half your movies don't have subtitles? So,
yeah, it's tough call.
I'm gonna say this. Go ahead, Dev.
No, you go. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say this. The question was, do we like the way PS Plus works now? As of right now, no. I think as we've gotten further in this console cycle, we kind of lost stuff from PS Now. They've been taking away stuff, whether it's the PS3 games, the Vita games, and even the quality of games kind of stepped down to a point. I feel like they're ramping up for PS5. I want to see if maybe like because I thought my whole thinking was that maybe when PSVR kind of kicks off, after a while the PSVR games will start getting added on the PS Plus like every month. That hasn't happened yet. Hopefully that'll happen when the PS5 cycle's in. But even when we get PS5 in, what games do you think will they give us for free? Like,
Yeah.
do you see? That's the problem. I feel like it's getting to that point when you compare PS Plus, just the Xbox now, Gold and stuff, and Ultimate. Feel like PS Plus needs a upgrade essentially. They need to kind of combine PS Now and PS Plus, charge a little bit more, and sell it like that. I think that's.
I'm going to stop you right there. They do not need to charge more. I'm already paying close to $100 for a yearly subscription here. They can kiss their price increases.
But if they're giving you PS Plus and PS Now in one bundle,
I wouldn't pay for that.
I was gonna say it depends if they have a bundle. Yeah, because like even with Ultimate, I mean that's bundling live and Game Pass together. So, but you can still buy them separately. If they offered a bundle that had Now with it, that might not be bad. But I would need Now to work a lot better. Me personally, I think PS Plus is just fine. I don't have any issues with it. The fact that you get 2 free games, if not more, every single month, and it's required for online play. So if you're not playing online, I can understand not being so excited about that. But I mean, we just got Modern Warfare, 2, the remaster, and Fall Guys, which is a great game. So I feel like PS Plus, while it has some off months, I still feel like they give you a really quality games for the most part. Like we've gotten some really good games with PS Plus. So if you're one of those people who is just not buying a lot of games or waiting, you still get a pretty good value at $60 a year. The amount of games that you're getting, I think, still is great. Now, of course, I didn't even think about the PS5 fiasco with PS Plus if they were going to add games to it. But yeah, without us knowing what the actual lineup, what's actually coming this fall to PS5, it's kind of hard to say what they would throw on there. But much like with the PS4 getting Resogun, and I think it was what was the other game? I forgot. Because I finished it. I got 100% of that game. I was mad I didn't have a platinum. But we got 2 cool little indie games right out the gate for PS4. I imagine we'll get something similar for PS5 as well as some PS4 game. Maybe they throw in a VR game. I'm with you on that, Delvin. I'm surprised they haven't started throwing in more VR games with it. But I'm totally fine with PS Plus as it exists. If they actually do something with PS Now and it's they overhaul the service, make it just friendlier, easier to use, then I would like to see a PS Plus Ultimate or whatnot that gives you Now as well as PS Plus. But I don't have any issues with it right now. I can't think of any other perks or features that I'd like to see added to it other than PS Now, but I'm good with it. You still looking up that other launch game? And you're muted, so I can't even hear you. You found it?
I'm muted.
You were muted.
Or you were just too far away from your mic, one of the two.
No, I can't find it. It says For Honor, which I know wasn't For Honor.
It wasn't For Honor.
Hold on.
I feel like me and Donnie were talking about it too, or he talked about it on something. It was a cool little game too. Oh man, what was it? Resogun, and I want to say Control, but that's not it. But I feel like it was something with a C. Anyway, while you guys are looking that up,
I'm gonna go with probably Soul Sacrifice.
No, that wasn't it. That wasn't it at all.
Oh, hell with this. I don't care no more.
Yeah. So, our next question comes from Contrast. I knew it was something with a C. Yes, Contrast.
All right. I'm literally on the PlayStation blog post from October 31st, 2013 right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Way to go. But that was a fun little game. So, I imagine we'll see something similar to that with PS5. So, next question. Almighty Ray says, with the PlayStation ecosystem lagging behind Xbox, is there a good reason to purchase a PS5 other than Spider-Man Miles Morales, what he says is a DLC? It depends. I think if you're looking for the ecosystem of Xbox, then sure, PlayStation could be seen lagging, but I'm not an ecosystem guy in that terms. So for me, it doesn't really matter. I think the reason you buy a PS5 like at launch, probably maybe Miles Morales, maybe because you want to be able to play your older PS4 games that are supposedly going to work on the PS5. And then also you want to play, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, or you want to play Watch Dogs, you want to play Cyberpunk, and you happen to be, a PS person, a PlayStation person, and with Xbox not having Halo, I think unless you're like one of those volume gamers that is really really digging the Game Pass, then I think the PS5 may be, you know, the system that you'd want to go with because it offers just more, I guess, story based third person action adventure games. I think Miles Morales does a good job of making you want to play that. So if you're a big Spider-Man fan, sure, but if you're really into the Xbox ecosystem, the Game Pass, I don't think that you would want to get a PS5 unless you're really just about bigger games. Like if you're just cool, I want to have this breadth of games, this huge, backlog of titles all on, from Game Pass, and I don't think there's a way to sway you over to PS5. And if you're a PlayStation person who is, digging Miles Morales and Spider-Man and all of their games, and I don't think there's any moving you over to Xbox. I think most people are already set with where they're going to go. It's just a matter of like, what games do you really want to play? What do you guys think?
I mean, to be fair, like I wouldn't really call, like, okay. I mean, the online service is pretty much the same now, aside from the fact that Xbox has Game Pass. They killed Mixer, so there's no like built-in streaming functionality besides using Twitch or YouTube right now, right? So I wouldn't exactly call it lagging behind. Like, yeah, we don't really have Game Pass. Now is there and they don't promote it. And they should. But
Don't forget xCloud. That's
potentially,
another huge piece.
yes, that is okay, that's there. But again, you can't play your games over the cloud really unless you're using PS Now here. But you can store your online storage up there. Like I know Xbox doesn't think. I wouldn't really call them lagging behind. Like yeah, Xbox has a bit of an edge in that market right now with xCloud launching in a couple weeks. But I mean, like Dev said, like if you're probably already set where you want to go. I'm going to buy both. Whether I buy both at launch is a question of whether I can afford it or not, but I will buy both because I want to play Fable and I want to play State of Decay 3. But I want to play Sony's exclusives way more. Like I want to play Miles Morales. I want to play Horizon. I want to play the inevitable God of War 2 that's going to come. The next Ratchet and Clank, the inevitable Days Gone sequel, right? Like that game ended in a way where we know it's going to get a sequel. And it sold well enough too as well. Everybody knows where they're going to go based on what they enjoy. Like if you enjoy the Xbox ecosystem, you're probably going there. And if you enjoy the PlayStation side, you're probably going there. There's not really much to do. The only thing I could see swaying people is, oh, my friend who had PlayStation this gen got Xbox and I want to play with them. So,
yep. Thoughts, Delvin?
I think the way I look at it is this: I want to go to the place where the best games are at. Simple as that. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
And consistently, PlayStation has given us the best quote unquote games. Now, the games that I love Xbox as well, but not gonna lie, we're gonna talk about it a little bit later. That Halo announcement crushed me. Like in terms of Series X went from, all right, if I have enough money, I'll get both of them, to I can wait on Series X now because of that. I'll just wait till I felt like that changed the whole narrative for me because I know that they're not launching with State of Decay. They're not launching with Halo now. Yeah, they're not launching with Fable.
Yeah.
That hurts them. At least I can say with PlayStation, okay, we know for a fact we're getting Miles Morales. We're getting what? Godfall?
Yeah.
Yep.
So all the extra stuff is kind of bonus now.
Yep. Probably Ratchet and Clank too.
Yeah, so oh boy, that Xbox announcement gutted me. I'm not gonna lie. that one hit me hard because I was excited for the Halo. I know people had complaints about how it looked and stuff like that, but I'm a Halo fan. I like playing the Halo games.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I buy Xbox.
Yeah, I think it just really boils down to whether or not like you're a Game Pass player or you're just I play the games I want to play. I really think that's really what it boils down to. And if PlayStation has the games that you want to play and you're like I don't need Game Pass and just a trough of games, I think that PlayStation may have more quality there. It depends. Like if them losing Halo, if they make a deal to get something huge in the Game Pass, then I think maybe some people could be swayed that way. But I think right now, as it stands, I think Miles Morales, the possibility of a Ratchet and Clank, Godfall, and a couple of other games really kind of put the ball in PS5's court. To be perfectly honest.
Yeah. The only thing I think I heard it now is the price. That's
Yeah.
the only thing. Like really.
Yep.
Oh, and yeah, I'm just gonna touch because the Discord, Delvin posted a story where like Taco Bell's running, like Taco Bell, right? That's who's doing
Taco
it.
Bell, yeah.
Yeah, they're running a contest and whatnot where you can win like a $599 MSRP bundle that includes a Series X or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Just a heads up, guys. Contests have to estimate prices based on the cost to the manufacturer and not the consumer. So that's probably not even the real leaked price. I would be very surprised if either console launches at $599 because that's suicide. Because again, I know that it's conversion or whatnot, and it's just like, $60 US is $79.99 here. But if you launch a console in the States at $599, that console is going to cost $700 here. Like, that's ridiculous. They're not.
It is ridiculous, but is it suicide with the fact that everybody's staying at home and everybody's hyped for these consoles? It might not be suicide. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the fall. It's going to be real interesting. If it's 600, I'm not buying it. That's for sure. But I know that there's a lot of people that will. I hope that that's not the case. I hope that's not the case. Yeah, I saw that article as well about that promotion, and I really hope that that's not the case because that would suck.
Yeah.
All right, our last question. Media Forestcast. They say, it's so hard to get video game time with the two small kids in my household. I feel you on that. He said, what's the craziest thing you've done to squeeze in some much needed video game time? We're going to let you go last, Delvin, because you said you had a good story for that. Yes. But you don't have kids, but like, what's the craziest thing you've done to just get that gaming time?
I called out of work because I wanted to play a game that launched on my birthday. I regretted it because that game was not great. Oh, whoops. Hi, Bethesda. Fallout 4 is not a good Fallout game. Oh, I said it. That game launched the day of my birthday.
Yeah,
Terrible birthday gift. Thanks, Bethesda.
Craziest thing that I've done is probably just stay up way too late. Stay up to like 5 a.m. playing a game or something like that when I had to be at work, or up at 7 to get to work. That's probably the craziest thing that I've done. I mean, yeah, I've taken off days from work, called out, but I feel like that's typical. I feel like every gamer has done that at some point. I feel like everybody's done that at some point, called out to do something you really wanted to do. But yeah, craziest thing I've done really was just staying up for ridiculous hours. What about you, Devin? Let's regale us with your tale.
This is going to be a little explicit, but we're going there, folks. We're going there. All right.
We have the tag anyways. Last week's show was definitely explicit.
Look,
I tag them all.
When my kid was younger, my kids were younger, and I went to play. My kids were never a problem to go to sleep when they were younger. The problem was that the ex wanted to hang out all night and not have me play games. So what I would do was I would say, hey, baby, let's go to bed. And just, quote unquote, put in my best effort.
Wow.
I would literally put on the A game to the point that she was so tired, she would fall asleep. Then I would go in the living room and play games all I wanted to because she's asleep.
Sometimes you gotta do that.
Oh, baby.
Gotta put them to sleep.
Sometimes you gotta put in the A game, put them to sleep. Then you get some gaming in. Then what? Then what always happened was 2:00 in the morning. She would come in the living room. Why are you in the living room playing the game? Oh, you were sleeping. I don't know what to tell you.
Time to
Not
put the
my
women
fault you
and
fell
children to
asleep.
bed and go looking for dinner.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta put in that work to get in that work, baby. That's how it
Work,
works.
work. Yeah. Good times.
Kelly
Good
disappointed
times.
in me.
I
What?
mean,
I would like to make a Ben Shapiro comment right now, but no.
No, I didn't have that problem.
Yeah,
oh,
Dalvin
God.
Cox, everybody.
Yeah. Back in my day, I was the MVP, baby.
That's what's up.
All right.
Moving
Moving
right along. All right, so let's get into some news of the week. What you got for us, Haley?
Hey, I called it. WB Montreal's game will be revealed next Saturday. So I said August.
Yeah.
You heard it here
also
first.
Turns out that Rocksteady's next game isn't just about killing Superman; it's Kill the Justice League, which probably means it's an Eclipso story. It's a very, very like comic book heavy storyline. I know you're not in the DC dev, but essentially Maxwell Lord steals the power of Eclipso and brainwashes half the Justice League, and Batman has to assemble the Suicide Squad to fight. Yeah, it's very comic booky, so I'll be very surprised how that works out. Also, that game is apparently games as a service, according to insider sources. So,
Yeah.
wow, what a way to go, Rocksteady.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Very excited for WB Montreal's next game, though. Yeah. So,
What do you think it's gonna be?
Court of Owls, like their entire tease that they posted was Court of Owls.
Yeah,
Like,
everything.
that's it. But also, according to rumors, that game may launch in November, which is like people are speculating based on when that new Joker pack launches for Fortnite. That it's gonna launch in the same week as Cyberpunk and Assassin's Creed.
Yikes.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
I'll tell you.
You know what's crazy is we still
Batman
haven't
game.
even heard Call of Duty. We don't know when that's coming.
They keep doing ARG stuff. There's an ARG now, and if you solve it, it gives you a code to open a door in Warzone.
That's stupid. Like, just
Oh,
say what
man.
the game is. My God. This is getting annoying.
Also, shout out to Infinity Ward for having to patch the game again to fix weapon textures, and that update alone was 66 gigabytes. Congrats.
Jesus.
That game is close to 300 gigabytes now.
I'm
That
going to
is
say it
insane.
again, and I agree with Donnie on this 100%. Jesus, we need E3 back, because I am sick of all these random announcements happening on random days that are all scattered out. Give them to us in one place, please. Oh my God, this is annoying.
E3 is dead. Get used to the new normal.
And I mean,
I don't
honestly,
have
like,
things to do.
there's no guarantee that this stuff would have been announced at E3.
Exactly.
There's no guarantee
The way
that it
they're
would have
doing
been
it now-
announced.
The way they're doing it now sucks. I'm gonna
Hey,
say it.
I'm just telling you now, E3 put themselves in their own grave when they doxed journalists. So
I agree. I completely agree.
they were heading down a slope. They probably would have survived a couple more years, COVID notwithstanding, because obviously that caused massive changes. But had they not doxed journalists, their decline might have been slower. But you literally dug your own grave and jumped in it, and then tried to shovel dirt on top of yourself by doxing journalists. They literally had to change numbers. Like, a great example of this is Alana Pierce had to change her number, had to literally change her, like, everything. Her email, everything had to be changed because they doxed journalists.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That definitely sucks. But
So
E3 was
is dead.
Yeah.
Get used to the new normal, because this is going to happen next year too. Even if E3 has like an actual in-person event, which at the rate we're going is a strong probably not, because
I mean, the real question is, do we need to have, an E3? We just need to have like all the companies just make their announcements during the same week. So like just have the big
Yes.
three and like some of the larger publishers. Like you don't need to do it all at the same place, but if you just have all your announcements lined up, that would be nice. If we have just the same kind of cadence, you get, Microsoft and EA like on Sunday or whatnot. Then Monday you get like Ubisoft or something. Tuesday you get Sony or however it goes. Like if we can just get like a cadence like that, that would be great. That'd be nice. And they can be digital. Like we have proved that we can do all of this stuff without having to have like this big show floor event. And that would be cool. But again, there's no guarantee that this would have gotten revealed here. And we have Gamescom around the corner, which is still happening. Like, so we may get a lot more information there as well. So
opening night live is the middle of the week after next weekend.
Yeah. So we'll probably get some good stuff there. Hopefully we'll get more about these Batman games. They could have been long in development, so it's very possible they do come out this year. It'll be very crazy if they do to me, but we shall see. I'm all down
I'll
for
be honest. I'm gonna call it right now.
Superheroes.
I'm gonna say it. I'm saying WB Montreal's game comes out this year, but Rocksteady is next year.
Yeah. I mean, man. Games as a service, though. I mean, is it not just doing the same thing as we're doing with Avengers?
Probably.
Pretty much.
It was literally probably what it is.
Yeah. I do appreciate the fact that if they do it as games as a service, if they do it the way they're doing Avengers, where everybody has to pick a different character, I feel like that makes so much more sense for multiplayer, for comic books, because for me, like Anthem, you're all the same person in the game. So it's like the multiplayer makes zero sense whatsoever. At least in Destiny, everybody's their own guardian. You're not all playing the same character. So
that's the same way that Assassin's Creed Unity did it. You were literally all the same guy.
Yeah, it makes zero sense for multiplayer. So if they do something like this, where it's basically just like DC's version of Marvel's Avengers, it could be cool. But again, is Superman going to feel, well, actually you're hunting Superman, so never mind.
You're hunting Superman.
I was going to say, is he going to feel as weak as Hulk?
Wondering if I'm excited. If anyone's wondering if I'm excited, no. Let me just say, attacking one's own hyperfixations can cause serious mental health damage, so no, I'm not excited about it.
You just got to pass the controller to somebody else when that happens.
I don't have anybody to pass the controller to.
It's online, so you just back out. You just leave the lobby. Just leave the lobby because it'll be online. Just leave the lobby at that point. Let them finish it. Just hang in the back. Oh man, that could be cool. All right, so our next story. I don't think we touched on this at all, but there was a little hubbub about it, like the PS4 accessories. So the DualShock, the camera, all of that stuff working with the PS5. I was so shocked and taken aback that people were so upset about the DualShock 4s not working with the PS5, like to play PS5 games. Like I was just like kind of flabbergasted at how upset people were. Like I get it, Xbox controller works with everything. Okay, yeah, sure. But we, outside of the Xbox, we've never had controllers really move forward to the next gen. So I was just like, you people are really upset about this? Like that they have to like buy another controller if they want to have a player too? Like this is normal. It's not like they don't give you a controller in the box. So it's not like you have to jump right out the gate and buy a new DualShock 5. Like it's going to come with the controller you need. And if you want a player too, you got to go get another controller just like we've always kind of had to. So I was just shocked that everybody kind of is in this mold of where they just want everything to work and everything to move forward. I'm like, it's never been that way. Like sure, that's maybe more consumer friendly if I can use my DualShock 4 on my PS5, but then innovation doesn't happen, And I get that, people are saying like there isn't that much different other than like the triggers being, more tactile feeling or whatnot, or more attention in them than, the DualShock 4. So seemingly it should be the same thing. But I'm sure there's way more tech in those controllers than we really, are aware of. that the
I mean,
PS5 will
again,
take advantage of.
Jeff Keighley blew on that controller. Like, I know I keep bringing this up, but again, it speaks to the fact that, like, I don't know why everyone's surprised about this. Like, again, one of the advances of that controller is you can blow on it and things will happen in game. You can't do that with a DualShock 4, so why are people surprised?
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, how often do we use any of those features outside of like the first couple of launch window games? Like,
Yeah.
you don't really do that. Like, I remember when the PS3 had the 6-axis motion stuff. There were like 3 games that you really
Yeah, I
used that
hated
for,
that stuff.
and it was dumb. And
Motorstorm
then
was the worst.
we stopped doing it. It went away. And then same with like the DualShock. Like the DualShock 4, there's like you use the touch bar. I will say I like using the touchpad for the map. Like that just works for me.
Yes.
I like what Ghost of Tsushima did with the touchpad, but like in Second Son, like you turn the controller sideways and shook it up to do all the sprays and stuff. Like you don't, but that was like the only game that did that. So like even with the blowing on the controller, I feel like that'll be used in like 4 games and then it'll go away and never be used again. Who wants to blow into their controller? This is not a Nintendo system. I'm not blowing into my controller. All right.
That's
But
what she said.
I think it's cool that the camera is going to be still usually if you have the US the camera, you can just buy an adapter and that'll still work for if you're streaming from your PS4. But they also have new stuff. The headsets moving forward I think is a good move because I remember not being able to use my Pulse Elite headset on the PS4 for a while. So I think those are good moves to be able to have some of those accessories still be able to work on the PS5 with minimal, pieces needed to make it work. But the controller thing, I'm like, that, come on. It does suck for anybody who has bought like a Scuff or like the Astro controller. But I mean, are we really surprised? So you get a new Scuff.
No, not at
I'm sure your Scuff is old and probably needs to be replaced anyway, so make it happen. I feel like I talked all that. Did you guys have any thoughts on those accessories? Like I said, I don't feel like we touched on this at all.
Again,
Yes.
Speak on it, Delvin.
It's stupid. Like it is insanely dumb. Let's be honest here. Y'all don't want to say it. I'm gonna say it. It's dumb. Like, are you guys plugging in your PS4 controllers to your PS4s? No.
No.
Are you plugging in your PS2 controllers? Are you using your PS3 controllers? This has never been a thing that's been possible. I don't know why this became a big deal. Everybody was talking about, oh, you.
It
It's not.
became
Go ahead.
a big deal because Xbox said, "Hey, your controller from the Xbox One will work on the Series X," and that's when it became a big deal. Which, all right, cool, nice consumer-friendly move there, Xbox. But again, the only new innovation that we can see front-forward facing for the Xbox Series X controller is the share button on it.
It's true.
But with the PlayStation, we have seen Jeff Keighley, and this bothers me that this is the only thing we really know about this controller is that you can blow on it and the little Astrobot dude will move.
Not just the blowing, also the tension. Like they completely changed that,
Yeah.
so it's more like the way the Joy-Cons, like the way they rumble and the way they feel, is light years ahead of what the DualShock 4 does. So adding that kind of like HD rumble and then the more tension or whatnot in the sticks is kind of cool, or in the triggers is kind of cool. But yeah, I'm with you, Devin. It's dumb. Ain't nobody plug. I'm not plugging in my DualShock 4 into the DualShock. Like the PS5 comes with the controller that I need. I'm not gonna plug in my DualShock 4. And if the battery gets low, apparently the battery's supposed to last a lot longer on the DualShock 5. If the battery gets low, I'm just gonna plug the controller in. Like,
Yeah.
And
so,
also, it's USB-C charging for the next one as well. So
I wonder if it has the. I wish it had the where you could just put it down on the charge pad and it charge. I would love that if they did that.
The charging.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? The little pad they have?
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool.
I would love that. Because then I could just, turn part of my desk into a charge station and just drop my phone, my headphones, and my controller on the desk and let it all charge. That would be awesome. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, people, this is dumb. Just be happy with the new controller. All right.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Get the new hotness. It's new hotness, old and busted. Come on, let's move forward, people. All right. Last story. What you got for us, Delvin?
2020 is being saved. Thank God. There is a rapper. If Guys, after you listen to this episode, go on Kotaku and look at this article. There's a rapper that raps like an Animal Crossing character. This is a real thing. His name is 645 AR. He has a song called The Trap. And he literally sounds like he's Animal Crossing. And listen to the quote he has on Kotaku. It says, I do the squeaky voice, but nothing sweet.
What on earth?
I don't know what's going on, but this is fantastic. You have to hear this.
I have to ask the question, what's the song about?
I can tell you, he sounds like an Animal Crossing character. He literally sounds like a character on Animal Crossing.
Let me put it this way.
I've never heard characters on Animal Crossing, so I have no idea what that really even means.
It's like Simlish. It's
oh
gibberish.
Boy.
Yes.
The reason I'm asking what this song is about, this title is very concerning. For those not aware, this is a derogatory term used towards trans women. So
for the trap.
No, the trap. Like,
do you know that's not that has nothing to do with trans. The trap is the trap house. That has to do with drugs.
Drug house.
That's the drug house.
That's a drug house.
That's what he's talking about. For the trap, it's talking about the drug house. That has nothing to do with trans.
Yes.
Just letting people know.
Yeah. And the song, if you hear it, it doesn't sound like anything. It sounds like an Animal Crossing character talking over a beat.
Wow.
Which is gibberish.
I don't know why you'd want to listen to that in the first place, but whatever.
It's hilarious.
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to that because I just 2020. It just keeps on keeping on.
Also, I like how the only story pertaining really to PlayStation this week is devs.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
It's a slow week. It's a slow week. What can we say?
I mean, to be fair,
yeah. So yeah, if you guys want to hear a rapper rapping in Animal Crossing lingo, we'll post a link in the Discord.
Yes.
Shenanigans, absolute shenanigans. But there's an audience for it. I'm sure some people are loving this and they think it's amazing. I blame the Nintendo crowd.
I'm going to take it one step further. I'm sure there are people that are very excited by it as well.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm quite sure.
Unfortunately, the internet is a strange place.
Oh, don't we know it? All right, so our discussion of the week. I mean, this is the story outside of the Fortnite versus Apple thing. You know, this is the story that everybody's talking about. Halo just got delayed, like into just 2021. That could mean spring. That could mean summer. It could mean fall. But as we know it, Halo will not be part of the Series X launch. It has crushed Delvin. Delvin is like, I don't need an Xbox now. I've already got one that'll play all the games that are coming anyway.
Yeah.
I'm good.
That's legit what happened.
Haley is still thinking that she's going to buy both if she has enough money. I was never getting an Xbox because I have a PC and I'd rather upgrade the graphics card there and be able to play all the things anyway. So with Halo...
However, let me just say here though, Halo was never a factor for me. I've never really been into Halo, so...
Understood. So with Halo out of the way, Halo just off the docket, does this just completely give PS5 the leg up? Like, does it put the spotlight all on the PlayStation 5? Or is this, because of the fact that most people are already, set where they're going, is it a non-factor? Does it even matter?
I think it does matter. I think it matters a lot. I think that when we get to holiday 2020, when these systems are supposed to be coming out, and you see that big old PlayStation commercial, and they're showing you Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and the kids like, ooh, we want that. What's Xbox gonna be showing us? A box?
They're gonna show you Game Pass.
But they have to have some accounting. Like, parents ain't gonna maybe if a parent's smart enough to know, okay, Game Pass sounds like a great deal, but you have to know what Game Pass is to go get that for kids. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, to be fair, my grandparents don't play video games at all, like not even on PC. and they know what Game Pass is. So Microsoft does a good job of advertising what Game Pass is. I'm sure even the lowest common denominator, and I'm not insulting anyone either, knows what Game Pass is, because Microsoft literally doesn't shut up about it.
It's true.
Which I wouldn't either, because it's a good service, but like, they don't shut up about it. Even the lowest common denominator knows what Game Pass is, even if they only have the faintest idea of what it means. It's a library of games. It's what it is.
Yep. I mean, so my thinking is it kind of puts the ball in PlayStation's court to really dominate the fall. If they can, if we have all these rumors about the PS5 being just like severely underpowered in comparison to Xbox. If that turns out to be the case, and Xbox has Game Pass, and they are able to push like, this is the best place to play Cyberpunk, this is the best place to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla, this is the best place to play Watch Dogs, it's the best place to play Call of Duty, does Halo not being on the system, but knowing you're still getting that game when it launches in the Game Pass, does that still basically make Halo like a non-factor? Like, we don't even need that, because again, we've got Game Pass and we've got the best place to play all the third-party games. We've got the best place to play, you know, these high-end games or whatnot. Where you'll get Miles Morales, you'll get Ratchet and Clank over on PlayStation, and yeah, they're going to be great. They're going to be great Sony games. But we don't have Halo right now, but still, this is the best place to play. Like, do you guys think that there is any weight to that? Do you think Halo being off the plate and they can just push into all these other things, do we think that is going to help Xbox? Or is it just, you know what, I don't even care about Xbox at all. Like, you guys don't have Halo? Game Pass, all those games, I can play them on my current Xbox. But PlayStation 5, oh man, yeah, it may be a little underpowered. I might not get, you know, the full 4K, you know, at 60, but it'll be something that I can't even tell the difference in. It'll still be playing at 60 frames. Some games will be at 120, like the racing games or whatnot. Do you think that just off that alone, PlayStation 5 just is going to do gangbusters? I mean, it's potentially slated to completely mop the floor with Xbox if you listen to all the analysts or whatnot. Do we think that the Halo is basically the nail in the coffin?
No. Potentially, I don't think this does anything. I think that PlayStation 5 was going to sell gangbusters regardless of whether Halo was there or not. But sure, this might give it a slight nudge in the direction of up. But personally, again, everybody's kind of set on where they're going. If you want an Xbox, you're probably going to get an Xbox. If you want a PlayStation, you're probably going to get a PlayStation. The bigger question here is Miles Morales getting delayed? Because again, we've only seen that one trailer. Like, we haven't heard much about it aside from the fact that they had to come out and say, like, this is a full-on separate story. Like, this is not a DLC expansion. This is it. We haven't seen anything else from it. And we're almost 3 months potentially from launch for it. And so is it getting delayed and we just haven't been told yet? Because that could still happen. And it's a possibility. It would suck, but it would make sense because, again, everybody's having to work from home right now, so development goes slower. Like, things could arise, and it can be done. Sorry, I don't mean it could be done as in, like, the game could be done and they're gonna push it. I mean, it's like issues could arise and it would have to be done potentially, right? Like, anything could change in a moment right now because of COVID, right? So, personally, I think the bigger question is, maybe we don't know what the launch lineup for the PS5 is yet because not everything is solidified in stone.
Yeah. That is definitely something that I've been thinking about. Like, what are we hitting? You know, we got Miles Morales supposedly, but everything is just holiday 2020. And with things getting delayed, like, how long have these games been in development? Are we just, you know, fine tuning? Sony doesn't really put out a whole lot. Like, we had a state of play that we were just like, yeah, well, you know, this is cool. Got some VRs and PS4 stuff.
The only good thing that came out of that state of play really was the Alan Wake expansion for Control.
Yeah, which we didn't even need a state of play for that. That could have just been a anything. Like, we could have just had a video for that.
Yeah.
And that's also like, it's PS4 news, you know, it's not even PS5 stuff. And the question is, like, are we going to get it? I mean, there's rumors that we're going to get another state of play this month that will be more PS5 related. Xbox has already said that their system is launching in November. I'm assuming the PlayStation will do the same. But man, I would really like to know some dates, some solid stuff on the launch lineup. Like I know we're gonna get all of the fall games because there'll be upgrades. So you'll be able to upgrade Avengers, you'll be able to upgrade Destiny, you'll be able to upgrade Valhalla, Watch Dogs, all of that. But like,
Cyberpunk.
yeah, but what else are we getting? Like, are we is Ratchet and Clank gonna make it? Are we getting Miles Morales? Like, what are the games that I'm really gonna want to play on my PS5 that I can't play anywhere else? And are there going to be delays?
Another thing to think of here too, considering like they're probably launching in November. The current rumor for the Xbox is November 6th, which boy, launching a console in election week. Ooh. And because they're not going to launch it the last week because that's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, which again is probably all online this year because of COVID, but like launching a console in election week has got to be a nightmare. So either it launches on the 6th, the 13th, or the 20th. Like those are the 3 weeks you can release a console in that month because you're not releasing it on Black Friday. That is suicide. And I don't mean suicide for the companies. I mean that is literally going to kill people.
So much unknown. It's so crazy that we're already like in middle of August and we don't really know anything other than there's stuff coming this fall. We don't have dates, we don't have prices. Like it's crazy. This has been a crazy year, but man, like the amount of just unknowns is just it's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
That we are now in August. We're halfway through August. We don't know the price of either system. We don't know the full official announcement of all the games coming out for launch. We know almost nothing.
Yep.
And these things are going to launch in what, 3 months?
Yep. We don't even know like the full horsepower of the PS5, like what it's truly capable of yet. We don't even know about its backwards compatibility. Like we know that it should play PS4 games. We don't know if it will play all PS4 games. We don't know if it plays anything else. Like it's insane the amount of stuff that we don't know yet. But I still want one.
This is baffling. Yeah, I definitely still want one. I feel like just like PS5, PS4 led the generation in terms of mind share and name recognition. And I feel like PS5 is gonna do the same unless PlayStation does something remarkably stupid.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be the same thing upcoming. I think Halo does affect it. I don't think it affected to the amount where it's like, oh, we just lost 1 million consoles sold because Halo didn't launch. But no, people are gonna look at that like, damn, no Halo, so I can just wait on this. But PS5 is a PS5. You can't come into a gunfight where you're already losing.
Yeah.
It would be like, we're down. You know what? That other guy we had that's gonna be our big gun, he's not coming. That's that's a little crazy.
Going in half cocked. I got a full semi fully loaded. You came in with, a 9 with 2 rounds. It's like,
yeah, and I know everybody keeps saying Game Pass, but we already have Game Pass.
Right.
It's not like Game Pass is something new. Game Pass has been here.
Yep. And all that stuff, if you got a One X, like you can play all that stuff. You got a Xbox One S, you can play all that stuff. It may not be like the greatest. It may not be 4K 60, but if you have an X, it'll be at least 4K 30, So it'll still look good. It'll still have some bells and whistles. Like
I'd go get Game Pass right now and come back. That's not like it's not
come back. You can buy it right where you're sitting.
Yeah, there you go. I don't usually buy on my phone. I don't like Xbox having my credit card information or places for that matter.
I don't like people playing on my phone.
Huh? What happened?
You can buy it on your computer as well.
I don't like Xbox or places to have my credit card information. No.
Devin's like 900 years old, man. He don't believe in technology.
Yeah. No, after that last hack that something you had, they are not allowed to have any of my information.
You mean almost 10 years ago now?
Right. I use PayPal. I just PayPal for all of that. I don't put my actual credit cards, or I'll go to Amazon and I'll buy a PSN card and just load money into my PSN account. Either way, you ain't got to go nowhere.
Because my credit card information is saved on the network, so whatever.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I'm cool.
But also, I have 2-factor authentication on my account, so.
Yeah, I mean, like, Kyle the Pug, he got his stuff hacked the other day. That sucks. Ugh.
Yeah, but he didn't have two-factor authentication on.
That's true. Man, two-factor authentication for me is just it's an extra hoop I don't want to jump through.
Hey, let me put it to you this way. I game share and I still have it on. It's not that big a hassle.
Well,
That's my oldness. I'm good. It's too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, this fall it's still all up in the air. PlayStation seems to have the upper hand. It seems like they just got an even stronger upper hand with this Halo announcement. Let's hope they don't do something really dumb like Delvin said to screw it all up, like announcing that their system is gonna be $700 or some nonsense.
Yeah.
And telling people to get another job to get it.
Oh my god. Can we please just not revert to Sony PS3 era? That would just, oh, Jesus. Because no leader has actually led for 2 generations. It's always kind of flip-flops. So this could be the first time where PS4, where they just stay on top. So.
Possible.
Hey, so for those in the know of the joke that was tweeted at Caro and I earlier, Caro says she's game.
Oh, Lord. That'll be, oof. Way to go, Grouchy. You done started a movement. This ought to be real funny.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Also, just for reference, everyone needs to remember that Caro is technically retired and she's game. So
she ain't retired. She's just taking an extended break. That's all that is. We miss you, Caro. Come back. Come back home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please come back.
All right, so as we all know, like the drop is dead. What's coming this week? Anybody know what games are even coming out this like next week?
Games. Knob Switch.
Knob Switch.
I have no idea.
Knob Switch just probably released it.
Log real quick, but I doubt it. 1 sec.
Yeah, I mean nothing that I'm tracking is coming next week, so I have no clue. Like
something I want 7th, but that's it.
Yeah, the next game that I want is coming out is in September, so
yeah, I think I'm the same.
I'm sure there'll be something, but I mean this is like that good time if you're finished with games to jump in that backlog, play some older stuff like Haley is doing, finish up some games that you couldn't get around to. Like this is that little lull we get before September hits, then October when we start getting these games and systems. Apparently, I mean,
there is not even a post to tell you what new games are coming this week. There's nothing.
Yeah, so finish your backlogs, people. Finish your back. Is there one more beta for Avengers? Don't they have like one more weekend?
I think so, yeah.
Weekend is open beta for everything.
Yeah, so if you haven't played the Avengers beta, it's open next weekend. Jump in, check it out. I'm sure they'll patch it and update it there'll be something different. Because they did some patches like this week. They're supposed to help with some stability and some server issues or whatnot. So I'm sure there'll be an updated beta. Check it out. Might not be for you. Might be for you. Who knows?
I will say that Imran's tweet about that connection error thing, I got that like several times on Friday, and they had to patch that this week as well. So
yeah, I had a friend who also got that. I was like, I didn't run into any of that on PC or PS4.
I mean, it was a matter of I was jumping into that quickly, and then I played some of the warehouse demo, and yeah, so
cool.
The joy of online gaming. I kind of miss the days where you just put the cartridge in and everything worked.
I do not miss that day.
Do you even remember that day?
You remember that day? The first game I played was Super Mario World on the SNES.
It's a good game.
Nintendo NES was not like that. You put that cartridge in thinking it's gonna work. You want to. You be blowing in the cartridge for 30 minutes.
Got to blow in it. Got to put it in just enough to make it snap.
The Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
That is a perfect system.
Yeah, that is my number one system of all time.
Blowing out those cartridges.
Did you have to blow in the Super Nintendo? I don't think I ever had to do that.
I don't think I had to either.
Had to blow on them several times, but again, it was in we had our unit in the bottom of a entertainment stand that my dad bought. So
only issue I ever had with the NES games was like the batteries, the internal battery dying, so you lose all your saves. My Super Metroid did that and it pissed me off.
Yeah.
Anyways, that is going to do it for what is this, episode 46, I believe, of the PlayStation
Correct.
Experience. Yes. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Feel free to holler at us. Give us the follows over on the Twitters at PlayStation XP. Stop by the blog at psvg.blog. Follow our Discord or join our Discord at psvg.blog/Discord and join us for all of our shenanigans there. Get Delvin to actually come and show up and engage in conversation instead of his pop-ins and pop-outs. And last but not least, we invite you to join us on our Patreon over at patreon.com/PSVG. If you enjoy all of our content here, you'll have a slew of additional content just for $3 a month. I think we have like over 80 or something episodes just in the Patreon alone. We've got Strong Style. We've got all kind of behind the scenes stuff, like where you get to know the crew. We've got Books for Geeks. We've got the Fast and Furious podcast. There's a ton of content there for only $3 a month. So if you like what we got here, you want to hear more, we've got a whole other podcast feed full of good stuff. And with that in mind, I'd like to give a special thank you to all of our Patreon producers: Edwin Callow, Barry Cathcart, Josh the Bonesaw Barboni, Chris McElfish, myself, Kyle Hyman, Paul Calicote, Michael Masick, and Grouchy Surge, and Nick Fall Harbor. Thank you guys for joining us in the journey that is PSVG. And with that, where can the people find you, Haley?
You can find me over on Twitter at ShepardZarel. You can find me on your gaming platform of choice at HaleyZarel. And you can find me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/HaleyZarel. Again, I can't really give you a schedule because things are in flux so much right now. I am literally waiting for Walmart to contact me to give me my next shifts, so I can't say I'm going to stream on this day because I might literally get called into work. So, it's all over the place right now. So,
awesome. And Mr. Royal Rumble, Delvin Cox, where can the people find you?
Find me on Twitter at Delvin_Cox. Check out the Delvin Cox Experience anywhere you get podcasts.
Excellent. And the Royal Rumble, you going to tag that? I want to know where I can find it.
Oh, let me look that up real quick.
Right, Delvin,
please
learn how to use Discord properly.
Nah, that's not happening.
You literally could have nicknamed yourself rather than changing your entire name to Podcast Omega.
But if he did that, that wouldn't be Delvin. Delvin's got a Delvin.
That is correct. Yeah, I gotta do me. You be hating.
I'm not hating at all. I'm just giving you crap.
Player hater. Player hater. That's all that is. You know.
Insert GIF of Vanya Hargreaves flipping a car over at you again. That was funny. Your reaction to that.
It's called, you go on the Inner Circle Presents YouTube page. That's what the YouTube page called. It's called Podcast Royal Rumble. I will send Dev the link so he can put it in the podcast.
Put it in the Discord for sure. And you can find me at Dat Ninja Dev pretty much everywhere except on PSN, where it's Dat Ninja Dev 2, because 2 is my favorite number, and I'm too lazy to go in and figure out how to change my name there. So, what are you gonna do? And with that, long live play.
This has been a production of the Play Some Video Games Podcast Network.